Underground with the low. One hood, now they know. We the only thing popping in the burg. 7 city skirt. On these niggas fuck what they think they heard. Spell the curse on the verse with vibrations from the words. We the only thing out here popping. Only thing out here popping. Only thing out here popping. Only thing out here popping.
Only thing, we the...
And we're back.
We might another 2.5. 2.5. The redo.
Right. Welcome to this week in Black Excellence or White Supremacy. The shade of your skin may decide. I don't know.
Welcome to this week.
This week.
Welcome to this week.
Is it Black Excellence? Is it white? It's all of the above. But of course, we're coming off. Let me introduce myself. I'm Jasiri X. I am the co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. And to my immediate right,
it is
yes,
your girl, Miracle. Apparently, dark matter. Apparently, allegedly, the falsely accused light-skinned bully. First of all, don't interrupt. Did you interrupt him?
Ooh.
You didn't interrupt him? Why I got interrupted?
Yeah.
Violence. And this is why sometimes you gotta slap people at work.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But we're just starting, so we'll see. But my brother, turning to you.
Was Will at work or?
I mean,
technically that was a job. Yeah,
so can he get workman's? Can Chris get workman's comp?
Chris could get
Possibly.
something if Chris decided.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. My brother.
You know, it's trouble. Niggas love slapping. That's all I gotta say.
That's the gunshots right there.
Yeah.
But trouble. Yes, I guess white people will see this. So
yeah, I guess they will
be angry with us.
I mean,
violence, Mr. Violence.
Listen,
you choose violence often. Even if violence isn't on the menu,
it's gonna be chosen. Listen, I'm gonna request some violence in this motherfucker. All right, yeah. The highly value and highly violent man. Right, revolutionary but gorgeous one. You know,
get it.
Yeah.
So
the one who makes mistakes but owns up to it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Growth.
Maybe right. We're right. You apologize.
I apologize.
And
apparently apologizing and accountability is something that I don't do well. So yeah.
That Virgo energy, huh?
It is Virgo. Listen.
yes.
Yeah, BVE, big Virgo energy.
So I guess we're
that could be something else.
Not confuse the BVE.
I said BVE, like what? Bell Biv DeVoe was that?
Bro, big energy. BVE.
Oh yeah, it could be something else.
Oh,
so let's not go there. That's not what we talk about on This Week in White Supremacy, sir.
That's a different show.
That's a different.
About to call an HR meeting tomorrow.
Yes. Smacks for everybody. So
hold on. I never liked was Sugar Smack cereal.
What?
It's a terrible cereal.
It's like coffee in cereal form.
Horrible.
Is that the one that's like a little corn?
It's pretty good.
It was the frog.
Yeah, it was the frog. It was.
I grew up poor, so we didn't have frogs and stuff on it.
Yeah, you just had.
But I think
sugar.
Even like the
water and sugar.
If anybody ever gave me a bowl of that shit, that's
possibly
violence right there.
Maybe Will Smith had a bowl
of Sugar Smacks
the morning of the Oscars because he came.
Oh no, it's Honey Smacks. It's called
Honey Smack. He came ready to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So we're 2 days removed from possibly. The
greatest night in television history.
Right. The biggest.
Bigger than titties at the Super Bowl.
Obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously bigger than titties at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Or one. I guess it was a singular one.
Singular breast.
A singular breast.
And very nicely manicured and aesthetically pleasing breast.
Hey, where are we going here? Where did we turn? Suppose we talk This Week in White Supremacy.
I'm sorry, I get distracted
easily. Where do we turn? You're talking about BVE and
that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Where are we going?
Far be it from me to make innuendo.
What I was trying to say is right. One of the big this could be arguably the biggest television event, like improvised television event, right? And of course, that is Will Smith.
They bring in a 7-second delay back.
Well, there was a delay.
Oh,
but
there was a delay. Okay.
Thank God for like Japan and Australian TV.
Right.
That we were able to get like the uncensored version of actually what happened because there was a delay. And for those that don't know, I mean, you should by now know what we're talking about. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. Right? Nobody at this point. You should have seen the video. And you probably watched it like me. I probably watched it about 100 times to see Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. It was on the side. Was it? I seen slow motion.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yes, he did. Woo! So we've seen a lot. I mean, of course, this launched, the smack that launched 1,000 memes. We've seen bad takes, worser takes.
Right.
White people center themselves in this. White people wanting to call the authorities. You know what I'm saying?
Most of us are moved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real.
Right. We saw Jim Carrey say that, came out today and said that Chris Rock should sue Will Smith for $200 million. You know what I'm saying? He ready to call the lawyers. So I'm coming to you, Miracle. Like, looking back on a couple of days ago, what are your thoughts on Will Smith smacking Chris Rock?
This has shown me that I'm just a very toxic person because sometimes I believe.
Well, we love a toxic queen,
right? Because violence sometimes can be the answer, and I know people hate.
Sometimes can be the answer. Huh?
Sometimes
depends on the question.
The answer, the solution, the necessary intervention.
Yes.
JK. No, I feel
JK Rowling.
Who's violent,
yes.
right? I feel like it's very funny that people are like, violence is not the answer, but then they're like, go call the police, the most violent institution against black people.
Absolutely.
And so for me, yes, I get people being upset that this happened. They wanted to watch their award shows and see the gowns, the beautiful gowns.
Were we really watching? I mean,
most people really weren't watching the
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that it was
a
on.
dip.
Let me say something real quick. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, don't get smacked.
Listen, that's the last thing I want is a nicely manicured hand slapping me in the face.
Okay, come on, don't do that.
I said it's a nicely manicured hand. I'm lodging you up in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on. Like,
Nasty. Go
anyway,
ahead.
so listen, I go to sleep early, right? I think anybody that knows me knows I'm usually in bed by like 9:30.
That's because
you
you
work out at 4
at 4, right?
I'm up in the gym early, right? So I wake up and my phone had 33 missed text messages from him. And I'm thinking
he's pointing at Jasiri X, by the way.
Right, yeah. For everybody whose access needs are not met, I'm pointing at Jasiri
Or
X,
if you're listening to this.
Or if you're listening to it, yeah. So I'm thinking somebody died. Like, I'm thinking the worst case possible scenario. I'm like, something wild happened. And then I start reading the thread. And I'm like, yo.
Sort of. That's kind of a sort of death. A little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's a death. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a death of sorts.
Sort of.
I was like, what the fuck does it happen?
I mean, because I think about it, like, when Chris Rock dies, like, that's gonna go in his obituary, right? Like that, because this was
in memoriam at the Oscars. It's gonna be
the picture of Will Smith's smack. But I'm saying, but that's how big it is, right? Like, and we haven't.
Pause.
Oh, God, here we
Will
go
Smith
again.
has apologized, right? And apologized directly to Chris Rock, right? When Will Smith really it was almost like a fantasy come true, right? Will sat in the front row, right? Smacked Chris Rock,
right.
Defended his wife, went back to his seat, won the award, and then partied for the rest of the night, right?
He took the photo they took afterwards.
Photo with the family, and Jada, was fit. Everybody, and a lot of people felt like good job, Will. And then the white people apparently who Eric Gardner getting choked out, that's fine, right? Mike Brown getting shot by police, great, right? Antoine getting shot 3 times in the back, we're okay with that. Chris Rock getting smacked at the Oscars, violence is never the answer. What's wrong, white people? So just, Trouble Man, how did you...
So my first reaction was, I need my weed to smack like Will Smith at the Oscars. You know what I'm saying?
You need that Will pack.
Yeah,
were you smoking on that Chris Rock?
That Will Kush, you know what I'm saying?
I smoked that Chris Rock last night.
I'm trying to be smacked harder than Chris Rock. But my second reaction was I noticed a lot of people getting on their high horses.
Yes.
And I just want to say that if you support the violent system that you benefit from,
yes,
hush, bro.
Yes.
Also, if you're not okay with us teaching about the violence inflicted on Black, brown, and minority communities in school,
yes,
sit down, bro.
Yes.
And my third reaction is I'm kind of proud of Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of like, he stepped up to the plate of being that fierce defender of his family like Richard Williams was.
But treble.
At what cost?
But treble. If Will Smith had slapped Betty White,
she's dead. He didn't.
For a joke she made, however insensitive, she could have easily fallen backwards, cracked her skull, and died of a brain bleed. Same with Bob Saget, obviously. Wait, why are you
so
my
response to
white
that,
celebrities. Violence is never okay.
So listen, my response to that is a very famous internet line, which is, did he die though?
Did he die though? He did not.
You know what I'm saying?
Did he die? And I think I did want to come back to you, Miracle, because you had been cut off, correct? You didn't.
It's okay.
Yes.
You know, I'm just sitting here.
Not to cut you off and then
when I just smack people when I leave. But I think it's kind of funny because I remember when like Chris Rock and Tommy Lee were fist fighting at the MTV Awards.
Not Chris Rock, Kid Rock.
Whatever. It's still a Rock. You know, we're fighting at the MTV
But those
Awards.
are white people.
This is my point. Like,
their violence doesn't matter, right?
People have gotten into things at award show before. I wasn't there, but you know the great East Coast West Coast debate.
The Source Awards,
yeah.
Source Awards.
Just bring it back. It was just fun. We all like violence. We are a violent society. We watch the Housewives to see who's going to get smacked or a drink thrown on them. We see people being violent at work all the time. We've watched
Miracle. But Miracle. He could have killed him. That's pure out of control rage and violence.
That is anti-blackness. Like, first
I was Judge
of all,
Apatow, by the way.
I've seen out of control rage and violence. I've watched people go
mostly
through some
from police.
And most of the time, it isn't a man buttoning up his suit jacket, taking steps, slapping people, and walking back. And I think it goes to show that when people see blackness in action, they see the worst parts of it, because nobody's over here being like, oh my gosh, what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse? He could have taken a bomb and blown people up. He could have done this. Right. People don't do that. And it's like when that man threw the shoe at George Bush, right?
100%.
A legend.
Right. And we were all like, a lot of us cheered that.
True.
Right. So how are you going to sit there and pick and choose?
George was on his duck and George was like weaving and bobbing. Boy.
George said you ain't got to get ready when you stay ready.
Facts.
But
Will needed a little bob and weave that George had, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Chris?
No, Chris did.
Oh, Chris,
and I know some people are saying he has a disability, so he can't read things.
Chris Rock?
Yeah, that he can't read.
He didn't read that. He didn't read it. He did not read his face.
But
he did not.
It's something that can be mediated. People can have transformative justice. They can talk. Shout out to Denzel and Tyler and Bradley Cooper, and I forgot who else was there mediating the situation and things. But also people talk about like Will didn't have accountability. Will had to sit in his seat. Like, I don't know if you've ever been like in timeout, almost like sit here, don't move. Like he didn't do the press tour. He didn't do the backstage passes. He didn't do the whole like personal engraving ceremony celebration. So there was some type of media accountability where they were like,
true, but look,
didn't they say they were going to strip his Oscar away? Isn't it?
They're thinking about it.
There's
being an investigation, but a lot of people are upset that this is happening at the Oscars. But like people act out at work all the time.
And if you strip Will's Oscar, you got to take Harvey Weinstein's 81 Oscar award.
Absolutely.
You got to go get Roman Polanski's
you can't have
award,
this retroactive shit.
Yeah, you got to get, it's a bunch of James Franco and Casey Affleck. There's like mad dudes that did worse than just walk up and smack somebody. If we talking taking Oscars, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I mean, to me, that's even ridiculous in itself. But I mean, all that backstage stuff is, but I got to go home with Jada. You know what I'm saying? That's if I'm Will, it's I'm going. So I would rather I'll take the backstage, whatever. She cool with what I did, and I'm sure when he was doing his speech, she was glowing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I kept hearing. I was telling you this earlier this week. I remember the Cannabis and LL Cool J beef when he was doing Rip the Jacket, and all I could think of was when Cannabis was like, "That's why Tupac said you was a bitch," and that just kept playing in my head, and that's what Will probably heard when he went up there and slapped that nigga.
I think Tupac was proud.
I don't know if right is, you know, we were talking about like the Smack picture and having like Tupac and Martin Luther King and everybody like smiling down on Will, but I mean, like, is that so? Like, I mean, your when you woke up to 33 Texas and you saw what happened,
right? So I watched it and I was like, yo, my initial take was shocked. Like, I can't believe. I thought it was staged at first. Right, just
a lot of people did.
The first camera cut and everything. I'm like, yo, this is a very well timed camera cut, and just like everything just kind of played nicely. But when I seen it, and then I watched it back and I seen everything, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I mean, let me just do the knowledge on this real quick before I go to the gym and do my reps and sets, because they call me a whole lot of reps. But I was just like, you get me? I was like, hey, I'm not. Let me do that. For you. Don't try to beat me in my game, bro. I got the sounds. I'm like Thanos over here, bro. I control reality. But anyway, I seen it and I was like, okay, I don't have to agree with Will Smith for doing what he did.
Right.
And I don't have to disagree with him for doing what he did. But I understand.
Right? And, it was the clip going on where Chris Rock said, sometimes nobody's above an ass whooping.
Nobody's, and that's the thing. Like, like if that's how you feel, you have to defend your queen in the moment, right? Like, that's fine with me. Like,
Farouk.
But Jasiri, what?
The black community also takes a direct hit.
Dude,
one of the main talking points from those supporting the systemic racism in America is characterizing blacks as more prone to violence and less able to control their emotions. Smith just gave comfort to the enemy by providing them with the perfect optic they were dreaming of. This is according to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's op-ed that says Will Smith did a bad thing.
As much as I love my brother and I love what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has done for us in the culture, first off, you was beating niggas the fuck up in the NBA.
Kareem
right?
You was elbowing and fighting people.
You was knocking man the fuck out. Yeah. Secondly, you was in Game of Death, fighting Bruce Lee. I don't want to hear that.
You put a big 13, 15 foot print on his chest.
You know what I mean? And thirdly, and this is my final point, it's just like, why? Where's this energy for when all these white children are shooting these schools up? Right? Like what? Like it's not like Jaden Smith was a high school student and went and shot up his classroom.
100%.
No, it's not like he procured weapons illegally and was escorted across state lines and murdered somebody. Right?
Right.
It's not like that happened. Right. So what are we even talking?
What are we talking about?
It's a slap, bruv. It's not like they taped their knuckles up. And they had cornermen and everything.
Right. It's not like they had to pull out the thing and the gurney and put Chris Rock on it, like secure his neck
and Chris
to
Rock
make sure he couldn't move his head. Yeah.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Went on, you know what I mean? Like, gave the award and left. It will be fascinating to finally get, but and then it was context, right? Chris Rock also in 2016. Remember in 2016, it was Jada Pinkett who called for a boycott. She called for black actors to boycott the Oscars because that was the year no person of color in any major category was nominated. And they got Chris Rock to be the host. Let's bring the black guy to be the host. And he, came, very salaciously, to me, disrespected Jada Pinkett, saying, "Oh, she's just a TV. Isn't she on TV? Like she didn't get an invite to the Oscars. That's like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. Like
to me, it's funny.
Right. I mean, it's disrespectful, right? So if I'm Will and you already said the Rihanna panty stuff, and then you're gonna take another shot, and supposedly, I don't know if it happened. Supposedly, Will talk with Chris. I don't know. All I know is that to me was enough to warrant at least like, hey, bro, like, I don't want no funny business, this award.
Yeah.
And again, just like you said, is violence the answer? No, but I mean, come on. I don't know, man. I mean, he just smacked him in the face.
And like you said, he got to go home.
Everybody went home. Right. There was no need to fight. He wasn't even bleeding. He didn't even, how like when you get smacked and like your teeth hit your lip and you might have you might taste a little blood. I wasn't even that for what we know, but.
Yeah,
I'm sure his jaw was kind of sizzling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Will Smith's a tall guy. Like,
but I think it is wild that like you say a joke and like you attempt to embarrass, because that's what he was doing, right? Attempted to embarrass Jada Pinkett with the joke that he made, and now like who's the butt of the joke now, my nigga?
Yeah, you know,
it is you, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's ever cool to hit a comedian for what they say, right? I don't think that's cool at all because it's their job at the end of the day, right? That's what they do, and if you're gonna get upset at that, there's a whole bunch of other shit that you should probably start checking in that process.
I agree.
If you're gonna keep that energy across the board, that's cool. That's fine.
Also,
but
just to like, they're not at a comedy show, bro. They're at an award show.
But he was hired to be funny.
Yeah, you know comedy's going to be done, but it's not like you're at an award show. You know, this is your night. You know what I'm saying? You've been the butt of jokes like for the last 2-3 years.
It's a slippery slope.
Here's this dude you already have a little bit of issue with because he already had your wife's name in his mouth before disrespectfully.
Spicy.
Come on, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it was a slap. Miracle?
A couple of things. Number one, people like Kareem saying this made black people look bad.
Makes black people look bad saying that shit.
Look, divorce yourself from the white gaze. Like, there's no reason one person behaving badly means every single black person. This is representative of every black person unless you're a white supremacist. Number one. Number two, this is coming off of the confirmation hearings. Everything's been happening. And there has been this requirement almost for black people to succeed. You have to like just sit there and take it. You have to sit there and let people question who you are, your authenticity, your education, your ability to do your job in order to succeed. And for me, if this causes people just to have a moment to say, you know what, maybe I don't want to be disrespectful as a black woman today because some person may come up here and check me. It was worth it.
100%.
I get people saying, you know, violence is not the answer. What happens if every time something happens, we have to worry about getting slapped? Maybe this is going to cause a little bit of self-reflection that we've asked people for the past 3 years. Because at the end of the day, go ahead. We've talked about comedy and people always punching down.
True.
And as Cat Williams said, maybe if you were a little bit funnier, you wouldn't have to worry about people checking you.
Absolutely.
Maybe you wouldn't have to use these type of jokes to get a laugh.
Williams got beat up by that high school kid?
Well,
first of all, and he took it, and he said, "Listen, I was trying to teach him a lesson, and I did it," and he laughed it off. And
not only that, but they said when Cat Williams roasted that woman on the radio, Wanda Smith, that her husband brought a gun to the club for Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Oh, you got.
And she started with him.
Right. Go watch Cat Williams on the. Oh my God, he gave it to the. It is amazing.
It's okay.
Brutal and amazing.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm someone who has had the benefit of having a father who has done the same thing that Will Smith did. He's had a brothers who've done and partners who've done the same thing. So it'd be hypocritical of me to be like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Because when stuff went down, I could call my dad and he come act a fool. Like, so I'm not gonna be like, violence is not the answer and this is not how you protect black women. But I appreciate Cory Booker and Will Smith being like, listen, when you see black women going through stuff, don't wait until the next day. Just stand up and check it right there. Cory Booker showed what happened when you use your words.
Yes.
Will Smith shows what happened when you use your hands,
your palm.
So people can pick what path works for them. But I like that we've seen the past week and a half black men standing up for black women, black disabled women, whatever. I want to see more of it. I want to see more people standing up for black women and people who are marginalized and under-supported. I liked it.
And so, no, you make a great point because we have been watching, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And, it was beautiful, that Cory Booker clip where he kind of, uplifted her, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of, you had one senator actually say to her, like, I'm not a lawyer, but, I've watched a couple episodes of Law and Order. And it's like, you have to sit there and be berated by some guy who just that's what he thinks. I've watched a couple episodes of Law and Order. You had to watch Ted Cruz do his whole act. You had to watch, what was the guy that stormed out? The one dude,
Holly?
The one senator who stormed out.
I didn't see it.
What do you? Lindsey Graham. Thank you,
Graham.
Jasmine.
Thanks, Jasmine.
Lindsey Graham, who like stormed out and all of these white. So we watched that, right? And it was like, she just got to take it. And, even, when you saw her wipe a tear away when Cory Booker kind of had her back, the weight of what black people were asked to do. And like you said, obviously it was a lot of weight on Will, and he, he got it out with a little smack, you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, what do you say? Like, and I want to come to you, Miracle, because people said it's toxic masculinity, and Kareem said, I'll ask you this, and this is for you, Two Trouble. Kareem said that this was a smack, not just to Chris Rock, but also a smack to women. He said that by hitting Rock, Will Smith announced that his wife was incapable of defending herself against words. This patronizing paternal attitude, what was that word again? It infantizes women and reduces them to helpless damsels needing a big, strong man to defend their honor, lest they swoon from the vapors.
What we're not about to do is birth of a nation this moment, right? We're not about to go there.
Kareem was in his he was in his dictionary bag, boy. He had his syllabus on lock.
Maybe she's the one who told him to walk up there. We don't know. Yeah. We know she sat there right next to him the whole entire time, and was happy.
And we saw her response to that joke, and it was not happiness.
Face was hilarious.
Yeah, Lupita was like, "Oh, this is real." Because I think, like you said, a lot of people might have thought that this was some type of shtick, right? Yeah. Because it's the Oscars and they're actors, and then it was like, oh, when he said, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," it was like, oh, this is not a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then also, this is someone that they have worked with before. This is someone they have a relationship with before. And I will say sometimes people know not to check you in private, and so they'll do it in public. Yes. They will time and place you to try and test you. And Will said you got the right one on the right day. Yes. It doesn't matter if we at the Oscars, the cookout,
100%. Man gonna bring arms out,
or at the neighborhood. I'm gonna check you. And I think that this is one of the reasons why this happened. Is you notice a lot of times when people go through stuff, they become the butt of the jokes, and we pile stuff on, and then we tell people this is what you have to go through in order to be successful. And Will was like, nah, I'm stressed out. I'm going through all this stuff. I may or may not get this Oscar. This may be my Denzel moment. Right. A lot of times y'all bring black acts here to get the people to watch, and then you embarrass us while we lose. Absolutely. And he's stressed out. So even if he wasn't defending Jada, I really don't care.
And then this idea, I think, and I'm gonna come to you, Trouble. This idea that like, oh, we should use word. Like, oftentimes words hurt worse. Like this idea that like words can hurt worse than somebody physically being hit. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about, here's Jada, who is a black woman actress in Hollywood. Just the pressure of that alone, the difficulty of that alone, and then she's struggling with she has alopecia. She's struggling with her own identity. We saw the Congresswoman, I think it's Ayanna Presley, who came out and was like, I got alopecia, I'm rocking a baldy, and it was like it was a very proud moment, but also being this public figure. Here's Chris Rock, who did the movie about black women's hair. A lot of black women felt like that movie was kind of disrespectful. Like the way he showed up in that movie was disrespectful. So people are like, you should know about black women and their hair. And I think that's the idea that this smack was somehow worse than what was being made fun of in front of all these people, in front of your peers. I don't know if I can necessarily agree with that.
I don't care about comparisons. My thing is, you got checked.
Smack a nigga, yeah, you got checked. Yeah. You'll know next time,
We can't sit there and be like, violence is sometimes the answer, then get mad when violence happens.
I agree. Right. It's particularly like America loves violence. Like this country loves violence. This country trades in violence. Black people have to experience anti-black violence every single breathing moment to be in this country. And the idea that now all these white people want to jump up like violence is never, here's Jim Carrey saying that, Chris Rock, saying that he should be arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, Will Smith should be arrested. He called, when people stood up and clapped for Will Smith, to one of the most disrespectful moments in Hollywood. And then he said Chris Rock should sue. Here, once again, like you said, white people wanting to use more violence. A black person being arrested is violence. We know when police are called on black people, who knows what could happen. We saw police being called on black people and black people dying for the smallest of things. But when white people say stuff like that, they never think about that being an act of violence as well.
So I just want to say this to you, Kareem. I think your arms are long enough. You don't have to reach, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I feel like, you feel me? It's like
some long ass arms, my brother.
To take a slap and say that this slap is saying that women can't protect themselves, or that this slap is saying that, or this slap is like a slap to women. First off,
well, no, this is actually, he said like Smith brought back. He said, "What is Smith's legacy?" The legacy of his violence. I'm sorry.
What, the legacy of Will Smith's violence?
it's so laughable.
Parents just don't understand.
Like it was just like, I mean, like he didn't.
I guess parents just don't understand.
Like you would think this nigga had a rocket launcher and like blew him off the stage
through a grenade or some shit.
What the heck? He said, but this is what he said, and I'm gonna ask you because I think you're on along this line. Kareem said he brought back the toxic bro ideal of embracing Cobra Kai's teachings of might makes right and talk is for losers.
Hit first, hit
and
hard,
this,
no mercy.
Right, this Macho John Wayne, did he do that?
Nah, he protected his wife. You know what I'm saying? I honestly feel like if you're not Will, if you're not Jada, if you're not Chris Rock, then your opinion on this really doesn't matter.
That's a fact.
Right,
You know
100%, 100%.
And that's my stance on it.
100%.
Scrap the whole show.
You're a toxic Virgo, Farouk. Well, I mean, like, and you had mentioned it, right? Because you know, you have responded.
Wow.
Miracle, you have responded to a tweet, right? Where, you know, somebody was talking about like, this is normalizing violence, you know, and just like you said, like, I mean, you know, I realize like everybody, you know, when something like this happens, everybody feels like they have to have a take, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have certain people that, and I know like we're activists, we believe in nonviolent, like we're out here protesting. I'm saying
we are not friends.
We're just speaking French now, my nigga. Parlez-vous français?
No, I mean, we do nonviolent protests. You know, we got signs, right? We're not out here looking to fight nobody or anything like that. Like, we understand that. You know what I'm saying? But this
that doesn't
idea.
Keep us safe, though.
Yeah, no, and it hasn't kept black people safe, right?
No.
And like, but this idea that like this smack is going to somehow like children are going to be watching this now and like, oh no, comedians are going to have to have like extra security.
Cartoons are violent.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like I remember my dad having this conversation with me. He was like, yo, when my dad found out I was watching like Bugs Bunny and all that, Elmer Fudd was shooting Bugs Bunny with a shotgun. He was like, why are you watching this violence?
Right.
Like, you know, America loves violence.
Yes.
We watch MMA, we watch boxing, we watch
100%,
pro wrestling,
100%.
we love action movies.
Football, we watching people.
Right. You know, we love seeing like, you know, basketball when they get technical
fouls. You cheer when somebody
fights
gets
in the
concussed
MLB.
across
Hockey,
the middle.
you're allowed to fight until you hit the ice. So it's
Absolutely.
like, stop acting like, you know, this is something that's that bad. And again, he slapped him.
Yeah, come on, man.
It wasn't even a backhand.
And it was a
even
slap.
if they were full on fighting, like Jackie Christie storming the court. Even if it was that, it doesn't warrant this idea that we have set ourselves back as a people.
Right.
Because when Conor McGregor was out there telling, you know,
Floyd Mayweather
to dance like a boy and doing the jig and all type of stuff. Y'all didn't call that violent. Y'all were just like, oh, that's just advertising. That's just how.
That's just like you said. We watch. I mean, you talk about storming. We watch y'all white people run up in the goddamn Capitol, beat police officers with Confederate flag, and you want to justify that? The Republican Party said that was legitimate political discourse. So you're talking about running up in the Capitol, beating cops, putting defecation on the wall. That's legitimate political discourse.
Yo,
but Will can't
every episode,
right?
They shit on the wall.
On the wall.
I mean, because that's wild.
On the wall. Hold on.
I don't want people to forget that, Miracle.
Listen. Not only did they kill police officers,
yes,
somebody said, I'm going to shit on the wall. And to this day, I don't know.
Or in their hand.
Right. I don't know which one. Would they bend over and just spray on the wall like a skunk? Or did they shit in their hands like, you know what? I'm going to get my, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this? It's an art project. I like it. Picasso. And just
hold on. I'm going to interject a little bit.
I'm saying that didn't set white people back. I mean, that did that normalize?
How come no one said that? Does this set white people back?
How does this make white people look?
Pause. What I'm going to say is we saw the smack Then we also saw Tyler Perry, Denzel, and everybody come and mediate the situation. So if the slap set us back, why isn't it that two esteemed black men, even though we made fun of Tyler and his wigs, mediating situation, creating transformative justice, why isn't that getting the focus?
Right.
Why aren't we lifting that up? We saw a conflict happen.
Yeah.
We as a community came together,
100%.
created some resolution.
This is an amazing
Denzel
point.
was talking to Chris. He was talking to Jada, talking to Will. Even Will Packer, who is the producer, came and talked to people. So if we actually watch people mediate a situation in real time, why aren't we parroting that and using that as a reason to do anti-violence intervention and anti-violence work? So I'm going to reject this idea.
Reject.
I'm going to reject this idea.
Yes.
I should have worn the reject shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to reject this idea that this set us back. I think it gave us a realistic look at what happens to people and who are human and how to respond to that.
Absolutely.
We didn't need police. We didn't need people crying
100%.
and running up.
Nope.
We literally have the tools and resources to solve our own problems when we're given the space and opportunity to do so. And that's how I'm going to look at this situation.
But Miracle,
What?
this was the Oscars' ugliest moment.
Listen, I don't care if it was the ugliest or the prettiest moment. Now, the Oscars is a racist, anti-black institution, and technically,
100%.
none of us should have been there because we should have been boycotting.
I wonder if they're gonna get like Ricky Gervais to host next year.
I hope no lies.
What do you got against Ricky Gervais?
I mean, he might get smacked.
I don't like TERFs.
know.
TERFs are not my thing. Ricky's not.
TERFs?
People who don't recognize that trans women are women. I'm not.
Oh, I didn't
I'm not
know.
really. I'm not
I
a
didn't
fan
know
of
anything
Ricky.
about that.
I like somebody who said violence is never the answer. Baby, your granddad's an active member of the KKK. Start your activism at home. Woo! Who said that? Woo! This was it's Zayok on Twitter. Shout out to It's Zayok.
Wow.
A lot of people, I mean, hot takes. I know a lot of people who have survived domestic violence were talking about this triggered and traumatized them, and not to take anything from their situations and circumstances. And we understand intimate partner violence is a real thing.
Absolutely.
I think what we can take away from the situation is how to respond to violence, to get people to become interveners, to get people to safety and move on from there. I, again, am not the person who's going to sit there and throw Will Smith out, because I myself, like I said, have had to make that call, have had to been
You've
like,
smacked people before.
That's not what I said.
Listen, I've done worse.
Wait,
for my
wait,
sisters.
no. What we're not about to do is implicate ourselves in crimes on this podcast.
No crimes. I just did worse.
I'm I get it. A lot of people are saying, well, what about Chris's point of view? We should take into account that sometimes people have heard that they have deserved violence. I would say go to therapy, get some support. If you're triggered and traumatized, reach out to people, because this is, a real situation.
And Chris Rock himself said nobody's above an ass whooping. So I mean,
Let's move
he
forward.
said that himself.
Listen,
Like an hour on this.
we have, but it's real, and we're talking,
and
we're
it's
doing
layered,
our own,
right?
Yeah,
but we're
it
also
is.
doing our own anti-violence work, and so this is what we have to wrestle with. We have to wrestle with. Sometimes people feel like their acts are justified, and when
100%.
how do we mediate those situations?
Right.
And this is what we take from it.
And
It's not an easy answer.
You made a great point that like Denzel got in there, Tyler Perry got in there. I guess Bradley Cooper might have said a few words, and we did need the cops, right? It wasn't anything, and there wasn't a need for it to be arrested. It didn't escalate beyond.
So let me ask you this question then: should Chris Rock sue?
Come on, bro.
I mean, he can. I mean, that's just a cash app. They rich.
Come on,
He can
bro.
just move some money over.
bro.
I'm
a
asking the
mediation.
question.
I mean, he just like she said, he could sue.
He could.
He could.
Would he be right though?
I mean, in his eyes, he may be. I mean, because this is going to go like this is what Jim Carrey said. Like this is going to be on his, in his obituary. When Chris Rock dies, it's going to be like, remember the time he got smacked at the Oscars.
In memoriam at the Oscars, we're gonna just highlight that.
But at the same time, I mean, they said the sales of Chris Rock's tour.
Yeah.
His
got
last
tickets.
show went up.
Of course you did.
I got
Tremendously.
tickets.
So like,
I had them before then.
It puts
Okay.
Chris
This for my
Rock.
birthday.
It puts Chris Rock in a place where everybody wants to hear what he has to say. He's a comedian. This is what he does for a living.
Right.
He talks, and so
Is this bigger than Sharkeisha?
I have no. Who was Sharkeisha?
No one remembers Sharkeisha. Jazz remembers Sharkeisha. Sharkeisha.
That kick.
Oh man.
Sharkeisha. Oh, come on. That's wet. Come on. This is Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Man, but that
This
Sharkeisha shit, I still watch that today.
But so, like I said, and I think, man, I don't know. I think Chris Rock, I thought that fake apology was really Chris Rock, and it wasn't. And somebody was like, "That apology's fake."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, I thought this was really Chris Rock." But I think Chris Rock has to say something. Jada is deserving of an apology. Yeah, you got smacked, but Jada's deserving of an apology. So then, can Jada sue him? Is she gonna sue him?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I feel like they can work it out.
Yeah,
money can be exchanged.
That's what Diddy said, right? We're gonna work it out. We're gonna love Diddy. Combs came in there. Yeah,
if one thing Diddy loves is the moment.
It's a fact.
But
I
think,
feel bad for Questlove.
I mean, he got. First of all, let's not lie and pretend that a black person winning the Oscars was going to get some support and go viral on social media.
Not viral,
outside of the slap. Let's come on.
Not viral, but we would have been
all
happy.
those black people won awards, and what we talk about, Jane calling talking about how she played stuff with the men. So let's not pretend like we give black people just due.
True.
But what I think we could see is Will Smith and Chris Rock doing a nationwide restorative transformative justice.
That'd be amazing. Yes.
Tour.
And Jada, I would say put Jada in there too.
Yes, but I was going to talk about
bring
because
Chris Rock and Red
as
Table
Kareem,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
But Kareem's talking about this image of black men.
Yeah.
So I could see them actually working together. Men stopping violence. 100 black men, maybe even one hood, doing some stuff. Working together about how do we,
as well.
resolve conflict? How do we talk about insecurities, being a man,
right?
Pressures and all of that. I could see this happening if they had some really good PR, right?
No, come on, man, boy. You better call Miracle Chris Rock. You better stop messing around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
A teachable moment. If anything, Obama has left outside of destroying bombs, destroying and killing children with drones, is the fact that teachable moments exist, and when things happen, we got to take advantage of those. Yeah. For the larger good.
But it is wild, and I think to Farouk's point, right? It is wild that everybody is talking about the smack, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have a sitting Supreme Court justice's wife, texting, Donald Trump's chief of staff, talking about we have to overturn the 2020 election, right? This is what just came out. This is Jenny Thomas, Clarence Thomas's wife.
The only Jenny I recognize is Weasley. I'm just gonna say that right now. I've been on a Harry Potter kick lately.
If that's what sent him to the hospital.
What, the Hogwarts?
He knew this was coming.
Who?
So he knew this
Clarence
information
Thompson
was going to come, right?
Has allegedly been in the hospital for the past 2 weeks.
He definitely is the prototype.
He is Uncle Ruckus.
Yes.
Don't trust them new niggas over yonder.
But it is wild, right?
If you listen to him, there wouldn't have been a smack. So
but, hey, I'm just come on.
But it is wild, right? That that is, and it's that got pushed down because we're talking about. But this is somebody who did not recuse himself when the issue of January 6th came up before the Supreme Court. Was the only Supreme Court justice to vote against or to say Trump has executive privilege not to show the information. We just found out today that there was a 7.5 hour window missing.
So hold on. Will we say that Clarence Thomas is our Terry Crews?
I mean, yeah, he's probably he might be Terry Crews' dad, you know what I'm saying?
I would say Kareem is, but go on.
I would say Kareem too.
For sure.
I thought this was funny because they had said, the New York Times did an article about
the New York Post won the internet on Monday, though.
Oh, what was that?
For their headline of the Smack Door.
Best Smack Door.
Jeez, bro.
Best Smack Door.
I seen
Boss
that.
Up could have done better.
I mean, they could have. There was low hanging fruit, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No, but again,
sometimes
Clarence has to go home.
Clarence has to go. Right. We're talking about wives, right? Right. Wait, I missed it. I missed the joke. I totally missed the joke.
We're having an HR meeting tomorrow.
I completely missed it. I have to watch that back. I missed that. Woo!
All right, moving on. Moving forward. This is a great episode.
Clarence, he has to go home to his wife, and he was like, "Listen, they may have talked about."
So Clarence has to go home to his wife. So that justifies his actions.
Well, no, it's not. But just like you said, he does. I mean,
he did what he had to do,
right? And it's like his wife
Protect the black family,
right? I mean, his wife is somebody that's like openly supporting Donald Trump. Supposedly, his wife like donated money to people to get buses to go to jail. Like, his wife clearly was invested in Trump still being president and that not being overturned. Right?
Imagine if Michelle Obama had done something like this, and this is someone for the people who 100%. Are tuning in.
Yeah,
you know, I am a Muslim. I am not an American-born person. I do not particularly care for Barack Obama, even on the best of days.
Yeah.
However, the double standard that has been applied to him, and as Miracle said earlier, numerous
100%.
times on this, as we're talking about Ketanji, the Honorable Ketanji. We're talking about how you have to do twice as much to go half as far, and for a sitting Supreme Court justice's wife, to exchange seditious text messages 100%. That could potentially implicate the judiciary branch of the American government in the implication and the grand design of the January 6th riots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is fucking nuts.
I mean, but you know, there's people who feel like, you know, Clarence Thomas, George Bush wouldn't have been president because if not for Clarence. Remember that went to the Supreme Court. And so it makes you wonder like how much sway, like when you talk about, you know, because people was like, oh, you know, Jada made Will go up there. Well, how much sway does Jenny have over Clarence Thomas, right? But I thought this was interesting because
do they have children?
Do they have children? I don't know. I just thought that the New York Times did an article about Clarence and Jenny Thomas, right?
I think people really have cute babies sometimes.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Allegedly.
So one of the things that was said
interrupting you
in this article that the New York Times did about Clarence and Jenny Thomas, they talked about their marriage, and it said in 1991, one of Jenny Thomas's aunts told the Washington Post that the future justice was so nice.
Oh my days, bruv.
We forgot he was black.
Come on. Whoa.
Most of us are moved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real.
He treated her so well, all of his other qualities made up for his being black. That's a direct
quote.
Some
Uncle Ruckus shit. That is some
He
Uncle
treated her
Ruckus
so
shit.
well that all of his other, like, what, be like being black? What, God damn, like, and this is so it's like.
I knew a nigga once and he was just so nice.
It was so nice.
He was just so nice.
I mean, but you know, and it's funny because it's almost like Clarence Thomas, like, loves white people more than white people. You know, it's kind of like you said, this idea that, like, we have to, like, help or, I mean, and that's what Clarence Thomas is doing. Like, he's.
The white man smelled like lemon scented pledge.
What is wrong with you? Of all the quotes,
white man just a joint to be around. Smell like lemon scented pledge. Listen here, Robert.
So, but
these are quotes, y'all. These are quotes.
Right. This is from the TV show Boondocks. This is, but I think the question is right because we're at a point now. One, and I'm coming to you, Miracle. You're a lawyer, right? It like. Because AOC, you know, came out today and said Clarence Thomas should resign. Other Congress people were saying you should resign. Like, should Clarence Thomas be forced to resign? Is he gonna resign? Should he be forced to recuse himself from all of this, you know, stuff coming up with Donald Trump right now? What do you see happening? Is Trump going to jail? You know, because you had, you know,
Teflon T got Clarence. He ain't going nowhere. Like, that's his ace in the hole. That's his ace boon coon. I'm on a roll today, goddammit.
We got to make sure Clarence is going to pull through first because we don't know where he is.
That's true. He might still be in the hospital, right? We don't know.
We don't know.
Does he got COVID?
Yeah.
We don't
know what he has. He went to the hospital for something, but I kind of
got revigalago. He just keep getting blacker and darker and blacker and darker.
Okay. We're gonna be disappeared. They're like, where is the one his staff?
Oh my God.
Heard from them in weeks.
Oh my God. Yo, Clarence Thomas gonna smack the shit out of you.
Clarence Thomas is about to
sees you.
He gonna make a call. We about to be by 6:13.
My condition, Robert.
Ideally, he should recuse himself. Yes. Ideally, he should be recused.
Yes.
There's
at the very least, this is a conflict of interest.
Conflict of
Do
interest.
you think that he will resign or like?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I think he'll be forced out before he resigns because he doesn't have to. Like he doesn't have to. Don't play with me.
When was it?
Keep playing with me. This manicured hand will find me.
Nicely manicured hand. Show the camera.
No, my hands. I be trying. You know.
Come on. Yes.
Come on,
So
twin.
Come through, sis.
exercise that hand for when you dispense it.
Come on.
You know what I mean? It's gonna bam.
This is why I learned something. This is Miracle taught me this. This is why I'm trying to tell you something. This is when you fucking up.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Miracle taught me that.
Got you. The backhand. She said when your hand goes like this, that's when you're about to.
This is what? I'm just,
what?
Someone called Miracle.
This is violence.
Not you. Not you. But someone said, this is what I'm trying to tell you something.
Witnesses would say that I taught you that.
I
don't recall.
She said
I said a miracle taught me this. Like a gift from God.
A gift from God.
A gift from God.
You know,
I
do not recall. I do not
plead the
recall
fifth.
what
1,
he's
2, 3,
talking
4,
about.
5.
I do not recall what you're referencing.
So you're saying he probably won't leave willingly. He will have to be forced out. So now,
and that would be so sad because again, the first justice that got to get arrested or prosecuted got to be the black man. And it's just like at some point you just got to be like, you know what? I just can't do it. Find somebody else.
Kareem gonna
Roberts
write
is
a
right
hellified
there.
thing.
Roberts is
when that
right
nigga go to
there.
jail, Kareem gonna get on his pins.
Amy is right there. Find another person to carry your water.
So Miracle, just on that, and I want to open this up to everybody. So, right, we find out today that there is this 7-hour gap, right? On January 6th, in Trump's call logs, right, where people were saying he was using burner phones, right?
Hold up. Let me get on my bean soup scientist. You know, January is what month of the year?
The first month.
And what day did it happen on?
The 6th day.
And how many hours was missing on the log?
7.
See what I'm saying, bro? It's a conspiracy.
I'm lost.
Can I stand you?
I'm totally lost.
No, I just don't understand why we keep having this conversation. It don't mean nothing.
Miracle,
they're not going to get arrested.
On top of that, wait, Miracle, I'm not done. On top of that, right? On top of these, you know, the district attorney, one of the 2 district attorneys in Manhattan resigned, right? Mm-hmm. And they said that Trump was guilty of multiple felonies, but the current district attorney halted that effort to seek an indictment. So here you have lawyers,
white
right,
privilege,
that said he's guilty of multiple felonies, right, in New York, right? Then you have 7.5 hours on January 6th missing. He gotta go.
Violence.
Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Turn it off.
He's gotta be gone now, Miracle.
When I said violence is the answer, sometimes these lawyers quit.
Yes.
Because that DA said Trump may have broken the law. Well, I'm not going to be the person to bring charges because I don't want to deal with the violence of his supporters. And this is why
I never thought about
Trump
that.
is not going to get indicted.
Because he is a black DA, and I never thought about that.
And we got to even think about, well, it's not public. So we have to think about how a lot of black officials get threatened with the fact that they say 100%. Trump supporters are violent. So therefore, there is a line that you have to toe. But
isn't that the pot calling a kettle nigger?
No, I'm just showing you.
But she's right.
That there is a benefit to people being violent, and that is why our country is predicated on violence.
Yeah, I mean,
we have a whole country and colonies and U.S. territories based on violence.
And they showed, right, that they were willing to go be violent, get arrested, to try to prevent Joe Biden to keep Trump in office. So you're right. So now if you're going to go against that.
Amazing take.
You have to think about the fact that his supporters could run up in your office. Because, I mean, and like
shit
I said,
on your walls.
That's just
Like, I'll be damned if someone come up in my house and shit on my wall.
I mean, we also got to think about there is a DNA database where you're...
Who's collecting the DNA from the shit?
Not me.
Someone got to swap that.
Not me. Lord have mercy. But they should swab it and find who was that. They should swab it and
they
find
gonna
out.
find out that way.
They absolutely
embarrassing. Should. Your whole family's DNA because you wanted to crap in the Capitol.
Yeah, that's terrible. Christ. Any takes on Trump? Is this it? Is this the smoking gun? Is this what's gonna finally get Trump trouble? Farouk put behind bars? Is this Teflon washing off a little bit?
I mean, if he's using burner phones, I feel like he had this thoroughly planned out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I don't really see anything, coming about from this at all.
Who are we talking about again? Prop Joe? we talking about
fact
Prop
that he's
Joe?
using-
Talking about Avon? Talking about Avon Trumpsdale? Right, Teflon T, Big T, the motherfucking architect of the high rises.
The funny thing about Trump, and we talked about this before, he's famous. I mean, he's rich because his father and grandfather was doing a drug dealer, all type of stuff. And the fact that he has burner phones, it's like, what were you taught?
Listen,
Right?
Trump,
Like,
Trump from New York City.
Yes.
What
Trump
were you
from New York
taught?
City,
Who
from
taught
the
you?
gangster era of New York City.
100%.
You know what I mean? He knows the codes.
Well, okay, so will we ever see? And I think this is a question.
I don't know how
right?
many more times I can say no.
No,
I only know English.
No. This is what I'm saying. No, not that. No, she said only.
This is a
Don't
great,
smack me, Miracle,
listen,
please.
Listen, if you haven't
No,
subscribed to
Celeste
us
would
yet,
beat me
Stop
down.
asking them questions.
Yeah.
No, I'm everyone here at this table is afraid of Celeste. I would
my
never.
Works.
Hold on.
Right?
If you haven't subscribed to us yet, this is a great episode.
definitely,
This is a great
definitely.
entry point.
But I'm
for
saying,
you.
like, what will he possibly have to at least answer questions?
No.
Like, will they is it like in front of somebody, like sit down? Remember Hillary Clinton? It was like 4 or 5 times Hillary Clinton had to answer about Benghazi and was called before Congress. Like, will he be called in? Will he sit down? Will he answer questions?
I feel like that would turn into Lil Wayne's
Deposition. Oh, that would be
deposition
amazing.
video. He's just sitting there.
That would be amazing.
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
I don't
But
know.
if he pleads the fifth, we already. Oh,
Of all the Hillary Clinton things, I honestly, to be honest with you, I forgot about Benghazi.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember is her pulling that fucking hot sauce out.
she pulled that hot sauce. She said,
Like,
hot sauce
bro.
in my bag.
She has been doing that since like 1985.
I mean, I know, but that's the only, like,
I
when
had
you
no idea. I
ask
thought
me
that was
Hillary
all about
Clinton,
Beyonce.
I only think about pandering.
That was horrible. Yeah.
Like, it
And
was
that
such a low
that is
level.
hilarious to me because the one time she wasn't pandering and she was
Right.
being honest.
We was like, you just
we were
listen to
like, you just
Beyonce.
want black people.
You ain't got
to
no
vote.
hot
Yeah,
sauce
like,
in your
you know what I mean?
bag.
She was like, "No, I really keep this
Ain't
shit
got no
on me."
damn
But
hot
like,
sauce in
here's
your
the thing:
bag.
you're just so whack of a candidate.
Yeah, she was a
that's just
terrible
what we
candidate.
attribute it to. But like,
So-
whatever.
Hilarious.
So we're are we on to white pages? I guess. Did you want to do? Who's doing our white pages today?
White pages.
Did you record this?
Is that you for real?
If that was you, bro,
It was.
I just want to say you might want to invest in some lessons.
Oh shoot!
First of all,
wow.
listen,
Violence.
Luke is an R&B singer. He be just playing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
He ain't
that was-
even a rapper.
Yeah,
He
type
a
shit.
singer
I was
for real.
just throwing shots.
know-
You can cue the shots.
No, he doing that like every morning after he works
You know,
out.
I usually
he
do the
go
white
in
pages, so
shower.
you can allow me that.
Every morning after he works out, he's in the shower singing.
Type
And,
shit.
and
This
And
is
you
actual,
know
this
this?
is actual facts.
sometimes I
actual
get
facts.
calls, and but I don't know personally because I've never
Okay,
been at his
okay.
house or been with him in the shower. Well, we not listen. I cannot fight. Well, I'm not about to get jumped. No,
You know how many times Miracle has said things on this
don't
podcast
blame me.
that has
Do not.
come back to me?
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm dead ass. Like, I'm so fucking sick. Like, you know, it is jokes. Everybody knows it's jokes, but it's just like it's a funny way of just the world working to come back to slap you in the face.
But like I always go back and I make sure people
You
know
do.
we are joking. So therefore, I don't want to get in fights.
Yeah.
Because you run down on me. I'm following and calling the cops. Forget everything I said this whole entire
She going out like Jim Carrey.
this whole
$200
entire
million.
podcast.
$200 million.
I'm
suing you.
calling the cops. I got agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia?
I'm
Afraid to
I'm
come out
afraid.
the house?
Listen, get all my coins.
She getting all
No.
of them. But today's white pages is an Outcast reader essays on race, gender, and the
like
post.
Stank on you?
Yes,
Like
edited
AT
by
aliens?
Dr. Regina. Right, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Man, come on.
Yeah. An Outcast reader. So
Or is it bombs over Ukraine?
man, it's some. Well, hopefully, there's looks like there might be some type of. There look like that. Well, this is one of the.
I mean, Trump said. I mean, not Trump.
No.
Russia
This-
said they were pulling some troops.
This was one of the Will Smith takes. Hold on. What Will Smith did to Crick Rock is the same as what Putin did to Ukraine. Putin felt threatened and disturbed. Will felt threatened and disturbed. We all love violence, let's admit it. War is the same as hitting. It's hitting cities.
A reduction of
Nigga said
such
war.
disrespectful
Nigga said
proportion.
war was hitting cities.
This is
Oh
why-
my god. Oh my.
This is why we just need. I believe in communism. I believe in rationing people's electricity and access to social media.
yes.
Because sometimes we don't need to share our thoughts with the
absolutely,
world.
but we don't want to be insensitive to the Ukrainian people.
Yeah.
Supposedly, there's hopefully talks, and it looks like there might be some type of winding down of the violence. You know
I
what I'm
really
saying?
hope so because
that.
we grew up in the first Cold War, even though it was at the end of it. I'm really like
Ooh, we nigga.
You said you old ass, old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Nigga, you don't know about how they have the drills to hide it under your table and that, bro. You don't know about it.
Can we just talk about how stupid that was to tell people to hide under a desk in case of a
bomb?
bomb?
A bomb,
my nigga. Like this desk and these Texas Instruments gonna save me
But it's
from
also
a
very
bomb.
funny that like the war in Ukraine started over words. So again,
right? Word. I mean,
Word,
of course,
bro.
it's word. And like I said, the idea that words should never hurt you. Like, no, words hurt, man.
I mean, especially when they're followed by people driving tanks into your neighborhoods.
100%.
Like,
Like,
you get me?
or a palm to the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Come on, brother. Yeah, we need a smack, like a smack joint.
But I wonder if this is what Chris Rock heard.
I apologize to all the people who've been driving and they've had to hear bombs and gunshots.
Please forgive us. Please forgive us. Yeah. He heard something, but so what's our call to action? You have our call to action
I do.
this week, Miracle.
I do. So again, this is Thursday at
The event's Thursday.
The event's Thursday, March 31st from 5 to 7 p.m. It's Trans Day of Visibility, and it's hosted, let me read the flyer, by Trans Uniting, Trans Pride PGH, SWAP PGH, some other people, the Love Diamond Project, I think that's Proud Haven and True T Pittsburgh, to invite people to come out to Grant Street, where we love the city county building,
right?
And just to celebrate the wonderfulness, the existence of people of trans experiences. So come out.
Absolutely.
It should be warm, be outside, the sun is shining.
Yes.
Hopefully, because this city chooses violence with this weather. Look, I've never wanted to fight something that didn't really exist as much as I had this Pittsburgh weather. So
it is the worst.
I left Canada to escape perennial snow, and it just fucking followed me.
So you brought it.
Yes, it is your fault.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I think that's it. I mean,
One more announcement.
Oh, yes.
Treble NLS and JM the Poet have a show coming up on Saturday.
Niggas love singing.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, they do.
Niggas love singing.
So if it's free to the public. If you find yourself with nothing to do on a Saturday night at 8 p.m.
Niggas love Saturdays.
You feel me? Niggas do love Saturdays. You can register in advance at trustarts.org/soul stage.
Niggas love soul.
Yes, niggas love soul. So come out, have a good time. We're going to be rocking with DJ Femi. We're going to be rocking with DJ 808. It's going to be a good time.
Dope.
DJ QRX as well.
Oh,
y'all in the building.
Niggas love sound.
Also, shout out to Celeste for the pre-Ramadan bean pie.
Niggas love Celeste.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a scene.
Now he about to slap me for real.
There's no C's in phonetics. But
Smith, maybe.
niggas love Smith.
Come on, there you go.
Niggas love scrumptiousness.
Yeah. And it is. So, will it be Ramadan next time we
Saturday,
take them out?
yeah. Next year, inshallah, next week is Ramadan. We're starting, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So we'll be here, hopefully with less cursing, but I cannot promise. That was a astaghfirullah in advance. Astaghfirullah in advance.
Let me say
That's
this.
violence, maybe.
Let me look at the camera. With Ramadan,
With it.
do not have us do 8 a.m. meetings, 9 a.m. meetings. Our work day will start at 1 p.m.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
Word.
And it will end promptly at like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Do not invite us to events with food.
And that's
No,
one thing.
I think
Yeah.
it's disrespectful. They'll be like, come talk to us for lunch.
I just had a professor ask me out to the lunch to talk about some of the BSU stuff we're doing, and I was like, I can't link till next week. She's like, it's fine, we'll get some food. I'm like,
Ramadan. It's Ramadan.
You can eat and I'll watch.
Like
Maybe you can
awkward.
burp and I can smell your breath. I'm like, thanks. That tastes great.
yes. So we got a cleansing. We know
We need listen.
Yeah.
This year,
Yes.
I have. Let me. I'm gonna say this right now.
Get yourself in trouble. Go ahead.
I have been fantastically awful this year. Right. I really have.
You about to apologize. You about to shed tears. This is your Will Smith acceptance speech.
Nah, man. Listen, let me just look in the camera right here. Listen, I've been awful. So God forgive me. I need Ramadan this year to kind of reset my, get back on my D.
And I know it was just. I guess it might still be Lent. Right?
Yeah, it's still Lent, yeah.
So, just, we encourage folks, and I think you said, like, a teachable moment, right? Center yourself.
Yes.
We all want to be vessels of love, like Will Smith is striving to be, you know what I'm saying? And, hold that.
Oh,
don't get smacked next time we meet Will.
Invite us to your Eid celebrations, all type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
this
has been
a violent week in white supremacy.
Or black excellence, however you see what's transpired this week. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
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 Out here popping, we them lords, you can't stop us.